I've been debating on whether I should tell this story or not, but to me it was kind of funny. But to everybody it might not be, So, but either way, I'ma tell it. Want to hear it? Here it goes. Okay. So, I was let's say I was maybe like 14, 15, and I live in Georgia, but I was born in Tennessee. I moved to Georgia when I was like, say, 9 years old. We moved in the middle of the night. It was on some old crazy shit. We moved in the middle of the night, and I became a Georgia resident. Now keep in mind, like all my relatives are from Georgia, so it wasn't like it was a foreign move to me. Like I ain't know nobody. I knew everybody. It was just I had never been to school here, so it was just kind of different living in Georgia. You see, when we moved here, we moved and we stayed on a farm, and it had no running water. It had no heat. Like they had a wood stove and kerosene heaters, which I hate to this day. I still like a burning fire though, but I hate a kerosene heater. Ugh. But we stayed on the farm. We had no running water, and there was no heat, so we had well water. And like the first week on the farm, my granddaddy was like, what you want to eat? Now keep in mind, I was from the city basically, and churches and KFC was like my two favorite things. Like I still to this day love me a little bit of churches. Every once in a while I can do me some churches, but Popeyes is my shit. KFC, it's a wrap for them. But Popeyes wins it all. Churches is a strong third. And I take some Bojangles. Bojangles got good chicken. And so I fucks with them. But so when he asked me what I want to eat, all I could think about was, Popeyes, churches, and KFC. So I was like, chicken. And so he said, go fix you some vegetables, get some potatoes out the garden, all that shit. So I'm outside picking lettuce, picking tomatoes and onions and shit, and getting the stuff ready for dinner that night. Now, when we first moved on the farm, he had a lot of fucking animals. Like he had horses, pigs, and cows and chickens. And there was this chicken that, I kind of fell in love with. And his name, I named him. His name was Spike because he had a black spike on the top of his head. So I used to call him Spike. Like Spike from the Gremlins. So I named him Spike. So I'm out there picking the motherfucking vegetables for the salad and the potatoes for the french fries and shit. And all of a sudden, Spike comes running up the motherfucking cornfield with no head. And I was horrified. When I tell you I screamed, like, oh my God! I can't believe he cut my damn chicken's head off. He said, you know where chicken come from. And actually, in actuality, I never even thought about it like that. Like, as a kid, you don't be thinking about where the food actually comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I wasn't really thinking that way. But, shit. When he did that, I became a whole motherfucking vegetarian. I was like, oh no. Oh no. I'm over that. So I only ate like salads and potatoes. I didn't eat anything that had an animal in it. I was not with the shits. And my mama was so mad at him. She cussed him out for all he was worth. She called him all kind of black bastards. For terrifying her child. He knew better. But shit, in actuality, he was from the country. He was like trying to learn a life lesson, shit. And you don't know, now you know, nigga. So yeah, I became a vegetarian for a while. And in saying that, I just didn't eat a lot of shit. And still to this day, like, I'm very finicky about the shit that I eat. Like, being that I stayed on the farm, and, you know, it was certain things that they had in abundance, like pickles, bananas, you know, eggs. Like, I could make an egg in about 55,000 different ways. There's many a way to make a motherfucking egg. And that was the only thing that I was allowed to cook. So now I don't eat eggs. I don't eat pickles. I don't eat tomatoes. I don't eat any of that shit. And those are things that I used to, like, really, really love hardcore. But I can't stand an egg. Just the smell of an egg will make me, like, almost hurl sometime. You know, I got into a whole altercation about an egg at Burger King. They had to call the police on your boy. And that's only because I felt like he was trying to play me. I don't do no egg. My grandmama was sick, and I stopped by Burger King to get me something to eat. I asked for a sausage and bacon and cheese croissant, no egg. I ordered the kids food, I ordered my wife food, and, you know, I'm driving, so I'll eat when we get to my destination. I'm just making sure everybody else all right. I get to my destination and my shit got double egg on it. Not just one egg, but 2 eggs. And you know when you take egg off something, it still got the taste of egg on it. You know, it's hard to delete the taste of egg. That's just a hard thing to do. So it pissed me off to the highest festivity that they put egg on my shit. And so I had traveled maybe like 30 miles away, and I had some shit to do that day, so there was no way that I was going to be able to get back to the Burger King. So I saved my sandwich, and I was like, you know what? I'll just bring it back and get my money back when I get back to town. So I got back, I go over there, I take my sandwich back, and the dude say, why didn't you bring it back earlier? And I said, I had errands to run, da-da-da-da. Here's the receipt. He said, oh, you should have brought that back on their shift. I'm not giving no refunds on my shift. I said, you out your motherfucking mind. I said, I bought it here. I paid for it here. I have my receipt. Fuck you, man. You can't give me my money back. He said, I'm not doing that on my shift. You should have called or spoke to the manager. And I said, boy, you gonna give me my money? He said, I'm not giving you nothing. It's the way he said it that pissed me off. So I took the sandwich and threw it like a baseball and bopped him upside the head with it and squared up like, okay, come on. Fuck you mean you ain't finna give me my money? He was like, I'm calling the police. I was like, bitch, you better call somebody. You better motherfucking call somebody. Because it's about to be a whole motherfucking problem up in here. And as he calling somebody, which was the police, it was a manager standing over there in the corner trying to act like she invisible, trying to make herself small and shit. I said, hey, you! What's your district manager's number? And she sprouted off the number. I said, and what's your regional manager's number? She gave me that number and I called. Now I'm on the phone with the regional manager and I'm telling him what the fuck just happened to me. And the police tapped me on the shoulder and said, excuse me, sir, we're gonna need you to step outside. And I said, I'm talking to the manager. I said, and this motherfucker done called the police on me. He said, sir, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. They sent me like $100 and some odd in Burger King bucks. But to be honest with you, I don't even eat at Burger King no more. After that, they don't get my business no more. Because that was the second time that I done had an interaction with them to where they called the police on me. So I don't fuck with them like that no more. I'm going to tell you the second time they called the police on me. I don't even know how I got on this shit. But they called the police on me. I went to Burger King. And what happened? Oh, I ordered a combo, a burger, with just lettuce, onions, cheese, and mustard. I get it home, it's got pickles, it's got tomatoes. No, I get it back to work because I was on my lunch break. I get it back to work and it's got pickles, it's got tomatoes on it, some shit I don't eat. Mustard, mayonnaise, ketchup, all the shit I didn't ask for is on this sandwich. So I call, because I don't want to go up there and have no issues. I call. And the lady say, tomorrow, no, I said, I'm at work right now. She said, well, just come back tomorrow. Ask to speak to Tyrone. I won't be here. He'll be the manager on duty, and he'll be able to help you. And I said, okay, cool. So the next day, I come up. I asked to speak to the manager. He comes up. I said, your name Tyrone, right? He said, yeah. I said, well, Sharon, which was her name, told me to ask to speak to you and that you would replace my meal. He said, you got your receipt? I said, she didn't tell me I needed my receipt. She told me to ask to speak to you and that you would replace my meal. He said, well, I'm not replacing no meal if I ain't got no motherfucking receipt. I said, you know Sharon, right? He said, yeah. I said, and your name is Tyrone, right? He said, yeah. I said, now why the hell would I come up here and ask to speak to you, know your name, and I've never met you before? He says, well, look, I'm not replacing it. I'm not doing it. So I went to the car pissed off. But as soon as I sat down in the car, I looked over to my passenger seat, like the floor, and saw the fucking receipt. So I picked the receipt up, take the receipt back in, and I said, man, speak to Tyrone, please. Hey, Tyrone, I found the receipt. He come to the front. Don't be hollering my name like that. I'll holler your name however I fucking want to. You act like you can't follow the correct protocol. Your general manager told me to come speak to you. She told me to ask for you and that you would replace my meal. She knew she fucked up my meal. She didn't tell me to bring no receipt. She told me to speak to you. He said, this is a small town. Everybody know me. I said, bitch, I didn't get no alert that a new Butch Queen was in town. I don't know who the fuck you are. The fuck wrong with you? I just asked for a goddamn sandwich, which I got money to pay for. But you fucked it up yesterday, took my money, and I just expect for you to remake my sandwich. As a matter of fact, at this point, I just want my motherfucking money back. I ain't even fucking hungry no more. He said, I'm definitely not giving you your money back. And I reached to grab him. And he ran and called the police on me. So therefore, I don't eat at Burger King no more. Because they'll make a bitch black out and catch a whole case. Ain't nobody got time for that.